And that's going to be Murphy. Murphy's going to be his hiking guide dog starting on Monday. So he can be as trim and fit as his wife. We're not really here to gather and say goodbye to Harry because he's really not going anywhere. We're here really to celebrate not just 22 years with the city of Kansas City, but 40 years in the financial management business and industry, which is remarkable. While the city council and staff will recognize him, we have some tributes on video and in person. My role was just to talk more about Harry the person, because Harry's a very mysterious figure that people haven't quite figured out. So let me give you some insights. First, I need to acknowledge that there has been some fake news that Harry has contributed to and perpetuated for a lot of years. He was not born in Indiana. He was born a couple hundred miles north of Mumbai, India. But because of that, you know, he represents the classic American immigrant story. And we should not take that for granted. All of us at some time were products of immigrants, but rarely first generation to see the success he has enjoyed, but more importantly, his kids, not only with their careers, but more importantly, how good looking they are. And I really would ask Lada if she would like to do a DNA test, because there's no way he was part of it. No way. I'll bet good money. Beautiful wife, beautiful kids, and then there's Harry. So you figure it out. What's up? So we have the chief of police here, and we'll be conducting that test right after this. What you don't know about Harry is, like all immigrants, that's a scary thought. Leaving your country, especially a country like India, talk about completely different language, culture, and religion. It'd be one thing to come from Ireland, like my immigrant family, or from England, or from Norway, or from Europe, but to come from Southeast Asia to America, that was a big deal. So in 1977, after not one but 2 degrees, one in business and one in law, most people probably don't realize Harry's also a lawyer. That's why I always kept to threaten to sue me if I didn't shut up. So he comes to America because his brother has come here a year before to set the stage. He arrives in Denver, he doesn't know anyone but his brother, and his brother, he tells me, basically makes him copy his resume, drops him off in downtown Denver, points to all the high-rise and says, just visit every floor and give him your resume. Well, 4 days later, after doing this, he's with Delta Dental. I don't know if you're familiar with that company. It's a big company today. At the time, it was just starting. What Harry didn't know, and I'm surprised they hired him, is that it was all female. That's why it was successful. So they asked Harry, I think probably just to appease him, okay, take this test. The good thing, it was a math test. So unbeknownst to Harry, of course, he aces it. By the time he gets home, because this is pre-cell phone, there's a message waiting on his brother's machine that, hey, come on back tomorrow. So he goes back there, and they offer him this job at Delta Dental. What he hasn't probably shared with you, he was the first male to ever be hired. There were 100 women working there. So talk about a harem. My only question is, why the hell did you leave? And of course, you know, he had to take on the obligatory masculine role. He played Santa Claus at Christmas. But knowing Harry, this is the Bollywood side of him. Every day, he was at his brother's house. His brother apparently had a beautiful rose garden. Harry would clip a rose every day and give it to one of the 100 women. So this is pre-bachelorette. He should have bottled that idea. So of course he was amazingly popular. The only question for him was, you know, why'd you leave? Because he goes from there to Northland. But before he goes to Northland, he told me the first week of work, he wasn't really accustomed to the American food, and so he would kind of just follow the crowds, and he saw a Jack in the Box across from where he worked. So he goes over there, and you know, English isn't foreign to him, but it's also not his native language. He was hearing people talk and place orders, and he figures out the cheeseburger is kind of the thing here, so I'm going to order it. So he goes up to the counter and he orders a cheeseburger, but no patty, just the cheese. They were confused. They didn't know, what are you talking about? Well, that's the first time Harry had ever eaten beef. Not part of the Indian culture. So he violated all his religious principles and eventually got into Jack in the Box. He didn't get that way by accident. That's good old American nutrition. So at Northglenn, he was there for 17 years, and he figured, hey, eventually he'd be the finance director, but he was smart. He was a deputy finance director because, as he told me, they went through 8 city managers in 17 years, so they probably went through that many finance directors. He's not a fool. He hid under the blankets, while people were getting knocked off left and right. Harry had a very successful career in Northglenn, but comes to Canyon City in 1997. I think if he had known what he was getting into, not the community, but the organization, he probably would have hightailed it back because he found out no automated accounting systems. Worse yet, and Harry has a copy of this, he's shown it to me several times, all the general ledger transactions were recorded on the back of a manila envelope. Every one of them. Every check, every written was recorded that way. This is like pre-19th century accounting. And here it was, 1997 in Canyon City. So I give him great kudos for the courage of sticking it out and modernizing our system here. So since he's been in Canyon City, he's been elected the president of the Colorado Government Finance Office Association, which is a very big deal if you're in the finance business. And that's the highest privilege you can receive from your peers, to be the president of that association. He became, in 2009, the Finance Officer of the Year, which was a great tribute. He's had 22 consecutive years of the GFOA's excellence in financial reporting. That in of itself is mind-boggling. I've been in this business for 40 years. I don't know of anyone that's had a streak that long. I mean, he's like the Joe DiMaggio of finance, to go that many years back to back to back. It's like the New England Patriots. But more importantly, what you don't realize is when you get that award, you also get from auditors what we call a management letter, which is going to identify tweaks you have to make to your accounting system, particularly your internal controls. Harry's never gotten one. I have never been anywhere where the finance department has gotten the award but not gotten a management letter. I mean, that is truly remarkable. It's a tribute to him and his staff and the culture and the standards he's established here. So Tammy Nordike's our new finance director. She's will do a great job, but she's got some big shoes to fill with that track record. But what really jumped out was a recent recognition, because this saved the citizens of Canyon City $1 million. Now, Harry's been trying to negotiate half of that, but so far he hasn't been successful. If he was in the private sector, he would get it. We just went through a issuance of an $8 million debt for stormwater improvements. And when you do that, you have to get a rating from what we call the bond rating agencies to determine your credit worthiness, your liquidity, your financial status, to determine, what interest you're going to pay. And basis points in this business can represent hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars. And so the rating is very, very important. It's like a credit score. The higher the score, the less interest you'll pay. Well, the first thing that was a little bit alarming was they started off by saying, we consider the Canyon City economy weak. That's not a good starting point when you're trying to issue debt and get the best interest rate. Just like if you went into a bank and they go, well, we think you're virtually insolvent, but let's talk about a loan. And we'll give you the highest possible interest rate because we don't think you'll ever pay it back. But what offset that reality was Harry, because then they want to say, we view the city's management as strong, and they listed, I'm going to read them off here, because they listed all the critical elements of our Harry's legacy here. Good financial policies, excellent revenue forecasting, budget to actual reports, a 5-year financial forecast, investment management policy, debt management policy, reserve policies and balances, strong debt liability, budget information and just strong financial liquidity. It's because of what he has established here with his staff over the last 20 years that we got an A+ rating, and the difference between an A+ and what we would have gotten represented $1 million over 20 years in interest costs. So give it up to Harry and help him get the $500,000. I want to close by citing Aristotle, a former Greek rapper. Said, the end of labor is to gain leisure. So hopefully Harry's going to enjoy as much leisure as he put into his work. So hopefully, Harry, you're going to have 40 years of leisure and the good life. But at the same time, I want to warn you, leisure tends to corrupt, and absolute leisure corrupts absolutely. So Harry, enjoy your retirement, not too much. Well, we have, I don't know if the mayor's here. If not, the Mayor Pro Tem is here. Let me bring up Ashley Smith, and she's going to read a letter on behalf of the City Council to Harry. Thank you.
See what superstars love in the red carpet.
Yes.
Okay, so on behalf of the Council of Canyon City Council, Harry Patel, congratulations on your long-awaited and richly deserved retirement. In your 22 years as a public servant, you have made remarkable contributions to the city of Canyon City and have touched the lives of your colleagues in immeasurable ways. As you cycled through numerous council members and mayors, one thing remains steadfast: your leadership at City Hall. Under your direction, the city's budget and financial health was in good hands. Having an impeccable audit track record signifies precision, professionalism to the highest degree, and deep loyalty to your citizens. On multiple occasions, you have saved taxpayers millions of dollars through wise investing and business practices, found responsible ways to fund priority projects, and always ensured we stayed in budget and retained an ample reserve. Your career has been a model to follow. May you retire knowing we will miss you, your commitment to excellence, and most of all, your enduring laugh and happy countenance. May you enjoy your long-awaited journey to India, free from spreadsheets, long council meetings, and pleas for more money. And in regard to the pleas for more money, City Council also will grant you your sparkly magic wand, where somehow you magically find us the money to fund the projects that we need to do. So thank you, Harry, on behalf of the City Council, and congratulations on your retirement.
Thank you, Ashley. We're going to proceed with a little video tribute to Harry, but I forgot one. Again, we want everyone to enjoy yourself here and talk to Harry, but I don't know if anyone else wants to come here and pay tribute to Harry or roast him, or certainly Harry's going to say a few words. He's a man of a few words. I'm sure this will be short and sweet, but Harry, say hello to your fan club.
Well, I was not aware that my boss is going to roast me. I had my entire public life in this country, so my life is open book. From the day one I started working for the public officer. And he was successful getting some of the information by talking to me or talking from other sources. But I feel very proud to work for Canyon City. I'm very thankful for the community who trusted me. And all this success, what you have seen over the 22 years, it belongs to the finance staff. Because I'm not the one who is performing that. They are the one who preparing the financial statement they're doing. I'm just the person who is monitoring, that what they have done is the right thing to do. So, give kudos to, all the finance staff. Particularly, I would like to thank all the department heads because they are the one who make it work. We have bad time, we have good times. Our city is on the economic base, and sometimes the economy is not good and sometimes really good. But particularly when we had a fire, and at that time, we need everybody's help to cut down our expense. So not only the department cut the expense, but also community started spending more money within the city. And that helps a lot. So we were depending to cut a lot of revenues, because of fire. But ultimately, the result was that we even out. We didn't have a loss particular year. And that goes to the community. So that I would like to thank community for their support. And the third thing, I work with, so many council members. And they work so hard, unbelievable. And they face so many problems. And ultimately, they make the decision that's best for the city. And I think all the support we got throughout the years is from the council. And that's one of the success what we have, is that we work as a team and council has some trust on us. And that's one of the things what I would like to say to the people that, yes, your council, make a good decisions and give them a hand because they are not getting good paid. They are working really volunteers and they do whatever best they can. So with that, thank you all. All these years I enjoy a lot and I'm looking for having good time. Life is always good. It depends on what choice you make. And I like to thank my wife, Lata, and my kids, Milan, Monica, and Palak is not here. She's visiting in Mexico. But I like to thank the rest of the community for all the support they have given to me. Thank you very much.
A little plaque to give you here.
So,
This is to commemorate. This is on behalf of the mayor, the city council, the staff of the city of Kansas City, extend their sincere appreciation to Harry Patel for his dedicated service and commitment to the city of Kansas City from April 1997 to April 2019. So it's your little Bollywood Oscar. Later on, you can enjoy some of the gifts. We have some gifts. There's Vanna White back there, parading as Denise. But the big basket, you'll really like. That's full of exercise toys. So Harry's going to come back in 6 months looking trim and cut and the man. So not that he's overweight, but we can all do better. And that little gift there will really make you cut. Again, anyone else want to come up? We got Frank and then the judge. The judge probably has an indictment. Yeah.
I know my wife's nervous because I came up to the microphone. But, instead of roasting Harry, I wish we could clone Harry. And I appreciate all the nice words he said about members on council. I'm probably the one council member that has spent more time with Harry than everybody else that's around here. And if Harry has any white hairs, it's because of us people on council. Not knowingly, we gave him challenges that were far and beyond what most people would look at. But he always managed to look at it and come out with the solutions that we needed. And I'm talking about when it comes to having the finances and the funds to make everything possible with all the things that this city has wanted to accomplish. It's never been an easy task. It's been a tough task. But he was able to look at these and say, okay, we can make it happen. Don't worry. Well, we always worried, but we didn't worry to the point that we knew that Harry would actually come through in the end. There is not a better person around that has done more for the town of Kansas City than Harry Patel.
By the way, one incident I remember, Frank was the mayor, and I was receiving Finance Officer of the Year award in Keystone. And Frank find out that I'm going to receive that with Steve Robbie, and I really appreciate his effort to be, encouraging me to be there. And everybody, those who were present there, were very, very impressed that Kansas City Mayor came over. Thank you for Mayor Preston, for all the support, and continue to do the great work you guys do, because we are progressing. We are progressing a lot, and I hope this will continue to progress. The city has done so much great job for many of the years, and recently all these trails we built, changes in the park, so many things we have done. I think that will bring more people in the town, and that will good for the revenue for the city. Thanks for all.
We're some of the last of the old timers, Harry. Remember back in the day, the expectation was you get 20 years of a gold watch? Remember all those years you kept cutting my budget? Here's your gold watch. Gold colored. I don't think it has a warranty. I didn't want you to go back to gold watch. Harry and I have always had a love-hate relationship. He loves to hate me, and I hate to love him.
I have real good memory for Judge Allen, that I sent out a memo to everybody that we have to cut the budget at least for 3% for every department. And the first email I received from Judge is that my 3% amounts to $2,000. Where do you want to take out from my department? And that was funny, but yeah, Judge budget is very low, and hard to cut anything out of his budget.
So let's enjoy the festivities and